Good morning, Emmanuel Baptist, everyone watching the devotions. I'm glad that you're joining in. It's Tuesday morning and looking forward to what God has for us today. Raining outside, but I'm glad there can be sunshine in our heart and in our souls, and I hope there is for you today. I'm interested this morning in 1 Timothy chapter number 4, and 1 Timothy chapter 4 verses 6 through 8. Let me read those. The Bible said, "If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things." Now, these things is a lot of commands that Timothy had issued about the church and how to behave yourself and how women ought to act and men ought to act and all those things. And Paul said, "If you put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Jesus Christ, nourished up in the words of faith and of good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained. But refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness. For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come." God said that we ought to exercise ourselves unto godliness. What's that mean? Well, 4 quick things I want to share with you this morning. First of all, there's a picture in these verses. Notice he said, exercise thyself, and then in verse 8, to godliness, and then in verse 8, for bodily exercise profiteth little. Now, he's not saying that bodily exercise doesn't help you. What he's saying is that bodily exercise helps one thing, and that's your physical body, whereas he said spiritual exercise helps everything. So he's giving us a picture. Just as you would exercise your body, God said you ought to exercise holiness, godliness, living for the Lord. So that's the picture. Number 2, not only do we see the picture, but we see the problem. Exercise is the problem. You know, most people say, I'm going to exercise. And they do it once or twice, or they do it for a little bit. They buy their gym membership, or they buy that piece of equipment for their house they always wanted. And for the first little while, they use it. But then after a while, it goes away, or they quit using it. Exercise is only good if you do some things. Exercise is only good if you do it daily. The only way you're going to benefit your body is daily. And exercise is only good if you will discipline yourself. There's going to be a lot of things to interfere with it. You got to determine, I'm going to do it. Exercise takes some dedication. You got to say, I know I would love to do that or play this or go there, but I need to exercise. Exercise requires some denial. Your flesh ain't always going to feel like it. Your body ain't always going to want to. And may I say, spiritual exercise, living for God, whether it be training our mind, our emotions, our heart, our will, it requires exercise. It requires daily exercise. You can't work out once a week and expect it to ever change your body. It's daily. It requires discipline. Spiritual exercise requires dedication and denial. You're going to have to deny your flesh and your own feelings and say, I'm going to trust the Word of God. So that's the problem. Many people read their Bible once a week and think it ought to help them. It's daily. Then there's the prophet. He said, godly exercise is profitable unto all things. You realize if you will exercise godliness, it'll help your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your physical, your mental. Every area will be helped. And then he said there's a promise in verse number 8. Having promise of the life that now is and of that which is to come. God said if you will exercise spiritual godliness, God said it'll help you now. You'll have a better life now, and you're going to have a better life in eternity. Let's exercise ourselves unto godliness this week. God bless you. I love you. I hope you have a great day.